Okay, so I'll introduce the Verticasa system.
Sorry. Cook has said you've got 8 to 10 minutes if that's okay, otherwise stuff is going to start moving. So.
Oh, okay. I'll try to go through faster. Thanks. Alright, so I'll introduce to you the Verticasa system, which is provided by Prysmian. So just for information, the Prysmian product, Verticasa system, is a sold product, which means that you have to buy it directly from Prysmian. Everything that you see today on the TE product is consigned. Okay? So for Prysmian, it's sold. Okay, so on the Verticasa system, we don't need that.
You've only got 6 minutes.
Okay, so for the Verticasa cable, basically, just on what is it? It's basically a hose with lots of fiber inside it. Right? It's really an empty hose where you have 12 modules of 12 fibers, so maximum of 144 core. Okay. Previously we had questions on why don't we get different sizes, 48, 72 or whatever. The main reason is, firstly, we do not know how much we need on the cable, so we standardize on one single size. So we do not have to forecast this size how much, that size how much. And another thing is you have your tool to open the window cut. So depending on the size of the cable, there is a jig in the tool that you have to change depending on the size, right? So we do not want a situation where somebody forgot to change the size and cut the fibers, right? So that's why we say, right, keep it simple, keep it easy. One single size. The tool, once you've set it up, you do not need to change it, and it will always be safe. Okay, so that's why we stick to 144, which is the largest size that we're using today. So for the Verticasa cable, as I said, it's a hose with 12 subunits, and how you install it is basically do a window cut to pick the fiber that you require, and then do another window cut at the bottom to extract the fiber. Right. So what you do is,
I think I've got a tool in my bag.
Okay. Okay. So what you need to do is just install straight all the way down in the riser. For example, if you need to take fiber up to the 3rd floor, you go to the 4th floor, do a window cut, pick the tube you require, cut it, go back to the 3rd floor, do a window cut, extract the same fiber out. Right. So it just makes it quite easy that you do not need to do any looping at all in the riser to create slack. Okay.
Well, there's supposed to be gravity loops at the midway point.
Okay, for gravity loops, for a Verticasa cable, you only have one loop right at the bottom of the riser, right before you go into the riser. So that loop is basically for you, for safety, so that all the fibers do not just drop down. Okay. One important part is when you install the cable, usually you can either install the cable from the bottom of the riser, or you can go up the or you can just go right to the top and just drop the cable down, right? So the end that's right at the top will always have to be secured, right? Which means the fiber, you put it back, right? If you have longer, right? You push it back, and then you tape it up so that it doesn't drop. So initially, some guys who did not know how to install it forgot to secure it. Once they put all the cable up, went back down to the basement and saw a pool of fiber. Alright, and it's all empty inside. Okay, so make sure that you secure it right at the top. So if you're going from bottom, you push it up, secure the side that you're pushing it up. If you're right at the top, secure the side that's at the very end. Right. If you're dropping it down, the end that is going down do not need to be taped, and it's best not to tape it. It's because if it goes down and it starts to twist, at least the fiber do not twist with it. Right, so that's why you do not secure when you're pushing it down. Okay. So this is basically the attention for it. So you install from the basement up the riser all the way.
Sorry, David, I mean, just
Yep.
later. As you said, you're gonna strip the jacket off
Yep.
and loop it and take it out to secure the fiber dropping out.
Yes.
So that fiber it's quite resistant to not to break or not to.
No, it's not easy to break it.
Okay.
Okay, so at the basement, for example, your GPX IFP, forget about photos, that's a premium product, but I'm just using their premium. So at the basement, install the GPX IFP, route the Verticasa cable up the riser, and then you just go up here, do a window cut, like this. So that's the tool. So basically, that's the tool to use. It's sort of like looks like potato peeler. Just peel a short length of it. So when you install it, oh, you have one. So that's good. So when you measure the location that you need to install, this is your breakout tool. Okay. So before you cut it, put the breakout tool behind the Vertigasa cable. Draw 2 lines, right, and make sure that it's within the side,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you do not need, so that you do not cut it and the hole is right outside. Right. Okay, if I can borrow the tool for one. Okay, in the tool you can see that there's 2 lines here, right? So this line shows you where the blade is, right? So that's where. So when you draw the lines, just make sure that the line goes all around the cable. So when you put the tool on top, just align this line and the line that you draw, right? So that you know that where exactly the blade is, and you cut, and at the very end, the other line, just pull it out, just like a potato peeler. All right. So before you actually do it, just do a bit of trial at the very end.
What if they do cut it, say, beyond that?
Okay, once you
if in case.
Okay, if you do that, just install another one here. Just install another one. Just cover it.
Put like a blank.
Like a blank, just cover it. Done.
How about the color coding? Is that the same as the regular fiber?
The color coding
The
over
12
here.
tube?
Okay, the color of the tube is the same as your normal loose tube, except for black.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Black is represented by light green. Okay? The
So-
whole reason for it is because you have printing on top of it, and it's black printing. So you can't have black printing on top of black tube, right? So that's why they put it as light
So
green.
blue, orange, green, brown, slate, white, red, light
Light
green.
green. Yes.
Okay.
Yep, that's right. But the fiber, you have black.
Ah,
Okay,
on
it's
the,
just the tube.
on the
that-
bare, on the bare fiber.
Yeah, for the 250 micron fiber,
Oh yeah.
then it's
Same standard.
same standard. only the tube, instead of black, is light green.
So 3 is similar to 8, almost.
Yeah.
Not to mix the color.
Yep, don't mix the color. Don't mix the color. Okay. Alright, so you went to the top floor, peel, look for the correct tube, cut the fiber, go back down to the bottom, the next floor bottom, open the window again, take the fiber out, and then install your breakout unit, right? And then the fiber that you've taken out, slot it into the hole, slot it through your the tube, and then this tube is similar to your heirloom tube.
Yeah.
It's not the same, but it's quite similar. And then just slot it in. Right.
The other thing too, you can fit up to 4 elements into
Yeah,
one of those
into
5
one
little
single
tubes.
tube.
So if you've got a 42S where you're putting in
24 customers, for example, so that'll be 48 fibers. You can still just use the one single tube and go into the body.
You do not need. There is a few sizes, one with a single, and another one with 4 holes. You actually do not need to use the 4. As what Phil said, you can install slot up to 4 of the subunits into it. So there really isn't any requirement for it. So over here.
So yeah, so that's the example of it here. So you could have 48 fibers going through that one tube, and that's already comes with the box. Okay.
So over here you can see that this is a single tap off, and you have a hole at the top and a hole at the bottom. Always use the top, never use the bottom, right? Because you can't route the fiber back down. The whole reason why you have a bottom hole is this is going off to this side. If you need to go to that side, just switch it over. Right. That's the whole reason why you have 2 holes on this side.
Does that 144 have that reinforcing fibre in it?
Yes.
Does it have an external marker so you know where it is?
Okay, there's no marker, but you have the cable. I can pass this around later on for you to feel it. So looking at the cable, you have this notch over here. That notch shows that it's not, the FRP is not there. Okay, you need to slot the tool. If you have the tool, you can see that in the middle there's a slot, right? So you just need to fit the slot into it and cut the cable. Okay. So another thing would be when you need to cut the cable. Not unlike your normal loose tube cable where you just use a cable cutter and just cut it. Don't do that. The reason why you do not do that is because of this FRP cable. When you just cut the whole cable, potentially you might be pushing this FRP into the cable itself, right? Which basically reduces the strength of the cable, right? So what you need to do is basically use that tool, cut a window on this side, cut a window on that side, and then just cut the FRP, right?
The cookers.
Yeah. Yeah, and basically all the the method of installation is outlined in the document NT0635. So yeah, you can basically refer to that installation document to find out how to install the Verticasa cable. So you can contact your Brisbane to buy that stripping tool and the Verticasa cable as well, plus the tubing. So when you do that stripping, just make sure that you cut it at the correct location, which is at the notch, because if you were to cut the cable at the FRP, you're going to dull the blade, and then you have to replace the blade, which is not cheap.
I was gonna say that what's the what do you call the blade usage like?
Well, if you use it properly, you probably do not need to change the blade. But if you cut the FRP with it, you probably need to change it every 10 cuts or 20
The thing
cuts.
is it Downer certified?
Again, sorry?
Is it Downer certified tool?
Is it?
I don't know. I must.
Well, that's the only tool that you can use.
Oh, suppose.
Is it? Because we are talking about, is it Downer certified? I'm not Downer, so I don't know. But I can tell you that that is the only tool that you use. Okay.
Don't issue him.
You know what? Somehow the tool happens to be.
Yeah. So basically, with the Verticasa cable, it's very straightforward. It's basically designed for you to, from the riser, this you install all the way to the customer premise. That's what it's designed for.
How far can it go though? Is it 10
You can,
meters or
you can push it 30, 40 meters.
Oh,
Maybe. It's
okay.
quite far. You can
So
push it
there's
quite
no
far.
limit really?
But in the application, we're only pushing up to the internal fan. So there will not be any issue of pushing.
Yeah, we're sitting next to it.
Yeah, they're probably just next to it. Yeah, not even 1 meter away. So yep, when then for example, if your internal fat is a bit further away because of space restriction or whatever, and it's, for example, it's more than 4 meters, that the next floor up is probably about 4 meters away, and that makes it insufficient, the length, just go to the next floor. So instead of cutting at the level 4, you go to the level 5,
Yeah.
cut it and take 8 meters out.
As you said about pushing that inside that sleeve,
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't be a little bit, if it's like more than 4 meters,
Yeah.
wouldn't be difficult to push it through that sleeve?
No, not at all. You can, maximum you can push up to 4. So if you're only pushing 1 or 2 for 4 meters, it's really easy. Yes. Just make sure that in the tool, slot it in the hole first before you push it into the sleeve, okay?
Yeah.
Follow the instructions.
Yeah, you don't want to push 4, 8 meters and then, oh, okay, you pull it out, push it again.
Probably 200 cables for that.
So yeah, basically that's the Verticasa cable. Order it through Prismian, and yeah, there's a lot of stock right now.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, the lunch is just out here, David. What time did you want us back here? What time do you want us to resume?
probably we can be back by about 1 o'clock.
That works? Yeah.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
that's all.
Okay, good.
I want to come in, but then move.
Very good.
Normally if you